I started recording myself talking. It gets boring talking to yourself every day. That was probably the main reason. You know, I decided to start making these videos, recording myself talking when on my drive to work. And I kind of started it out just to get comfortable talking in front of a camera, because that was something I was just never good at. I never practiced it, so that's why I was never good at it. So I figured I'd just start, you know, try and get good at something just by attacking it every day for, 10, 20 minutes. And I feel like I've gotten better at it, but I've probably only made 10, 12 videos, so can't be too good at it. But the reason I kind of took the car approach is because if you've ever sat in front of a camera and just tried to record a video and talk to the screen or to yourself, and that's all you have, it's very intimidating, very hard. So I kind of like the aspect of the video being the secondary task. I gotta make it to my destination. I gotta make it safe. I can't die. So this is my first task. My second task is talking to my phone hooked up to my heat vent. So that kind of helps with some of the initial nerves when I was first started. Kind of over that, getting nervous to talk to nobody, and then literally talk to nobody, and then on top of that, I don't really get a lot of views on my video. We did hit 1 subscriber. Road to 1 subscriber is over. Shout out to my first subscriber, my day one. Shout out to him, but I forgot where I was. But yeah, so literally talking to nobody, and then also nobody really is gonna watch these videos. If I get 10 views, that's a great video for me. And who's to say that they're watching more than 5 seconds in? So kind of get over that. And then what I'm really struggling with now making these is kind of just making, having a topic or just a video idea. Because when I was first recording, if you go through my channel, I would just hit record and I'd start talking, and I was just titling the videos, the date and the time I'd hit record. So there wasn't really nothing to it. I was just getting used to talking to nobody. But I'm still getting used to it, there's no way I'm completely confident in my ability to just, I got my brakes on, I'm blinding everybody, talk to my phone. I'm not great at it, I understand that, but definitely just the confidence you get from never doing it to doing it, almost every day. It gets easier. And so yeah, before I get talking about anything else, I took one of these Vita coconut waters and I put a liquid IV, strawberry liquid IV into it, because I was feeling very dehydrated. I was like, try that. Gas. I recommend it. 10 out of 10. They need more liquid IV flavors though. I wanted to do something cool. They had like bomb pop, tangerine, and strawberry. So flavors, but the strawberry is very good. But let's get back on topic. You know, one of the biggest hurdles to starting this channel was just the kind of like the fear of starting. You know, it's everything else in life. Like everything that you start or that you're new at, you're gonna suck at it. But you know, that's the beauty in it. Like everybody who's great at something was bad at it at one point. It was awful. You know, like the first time 4-year-old LeBron James picked up a basketball, he was probably ass. You know, like I'm clamping 4-year-old LeBron James. I'm sorry, he was ass. Or you know, the first time, you know, a famous painter picked up a paintbrush when he was 2, he was probably ass. I'd probably draw better than him, but you know, even the chosen ones, at one point they were bad. So, you know, that's kind of the mentality you gotta have, and you know, it's easier said than done. I'm 23. I technically started when I was 22. So, kind of a late start for a YouTube career, but I'm not really looking for a career. I'm just looking for something to do. And you know, I've always enjoyed watching kind of like the raw videos. You know, that's how I would kind of describe these videos. Is, you know, there's not a lot. There's literally no editing. I don't even trim. I hit start, I talk, I hit record. I maybe put some work into a thumbnail. Like I edit it a little bit and then I like type something and slap it on there. That's literally it, dog. I don't do any editing. So if you watch these videos, I'm sorry. You know, I'm not really putting in a ton of effort on the editing side to make these videos enjoyable. But hopefully you find me enjoyable. You know, hopefully I'm enough. You know, I'll try and be enough, because I don't even really want to start editing. You know, I really do enjoy editing videos. I just hate hearing myself talk, so I don't even watch these videos back. You know, that's another thing. If you just hate hearing yourself talk and you want to start making videos or something, sorry, hold on, guys. You don't have to watch the video back. Just upload it. You know, who cares? What's going to happen? Your video is not going to be there's no editing to be done on these videos anyway. I mean, you know, what am I gonna edit? Am I gonna cut the parts where I'm saying and then, you know, make it a little bit tighter, like pause? You know, I could, but you know, then what's the point? I'm just chasing perfection, you know. Also, another thing about starting is like people thinking it's cringe. Like, you know, if somebody you know finds your videos, you know, I've thought about that, but you know, then again, who cares, bro? Like, is there really a point of caring what other people think? Like, drive by a graveyard. Everybody in the graveyard cared what everybody in the graveyard thought about them too, man. Like, there's really no point. And, you know, it, like everything else, it's easier said than done, right? It's easy to say that, you know, I'm not the most secure person, right? You know, I'm insecure. I care what people think sometimes, but, you know, that's a daily battle that you got to go through. But, you know, it's definitely a battle you're gonna want to choose and fight. So, the battle of not caring what other people think. It's not just something you can drop. Like, people will think you can just drop that. Like, oh, like the act of caring what people think is something that you can let go. Like, it's a subtraction from your life. No, that's like very natural. It's an addition to not care what people think. It's not something that you can just let go. And people make it seem like it's something you can just let go. It makes it sound a lot easier, right? It's a lot easier to let something go than to pick something up, but that's a trait you got to pick up, right? So if it takes, you know, if you try and you fail, and you try and you fail, and you try and you fail, you got to keep picking it up, because, you know, it's just like lifting weights, man. One day you'll be able to pick it up, you'll be able to rep that shit out. So, but stop looking at that, like, we gotta stop, me included, we gotta stop looking at something like that as that's something you let go. You know, that's not something you let go. We're hardwired to care what other people think. But yeah, that's probably all I got today. I kind of want to make these videos a little bit shorter. You know, I'm aiming for 10 minutes. I was doing like 20 minutes, but nobody's watching that, bro. I'm not even watching a 20-minute YouTube video, so what am I doing? But yeah, that's all I got for you today. Make sure you try some coconut water with liquid IV powder, any electrolyte powder. It's very delicious. See y'all, guys.